Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Fadila Najmi Amru. I am from the 7th semester of English Education Department of SDKIP Muhammadiyah Bogor. I would like to explain about why people laugh at certain events or section of comedy movies or stand-up comedy. This discourse relates with pragmatics, the theory of Gricean Maxims. In social science generally and linguistics specifically, the cooperative principle describes how people achieve effective conversational communication in common social situations. That is, how listeners and speakers act cooperatively and mutually accept one another to be understood in a particular way. The philosopher of language Paul Grice introduced the concept in his pragmatic theory. Accordingly, the cooperative principle is divided into Grice's four maxims of conversation, called the Gricean maxims: quantity, quality, relation, and manner. These four maxims describe specific rational principles observed by people who follow the cooperative principle in pursuit of effective communication. Applying the Gricean maxims is a way to explain the link between utterance and what is understood from them. Grice researched the ways in which people derive meaning from language. Grice defines the cooperative principle as make your conversational contribution such as is required at the stage at which it occurs by the accepted purpose or direction of the talk exchange in which you are engaged. Grice 1975, 19 and 89. So Grice proposes that when we engage in talk exchange, we need to provide the people who we are talking to with enough information to let them get the idea or the message that they try to get it. So here are the four things of Gricean maxims. The first, maxim of quantity in simple terms. The maxim of quantity is to be informative, and the sub-maxims are: first, make your contribution as informative as is required for the current purpose of the exchange. Second, don't make your contribution more informative than is required. Next, maxim of quality. In simple terms, the maxim of quality is to be truthful, and the super maxim is try to make your contribution one that is true. And the sub maxims are: don't say what you believe is false, and don't say that for which you lack adequate evidence. Next, the third, maxim of relation. The maxim of relation explains we have to be relevant. One should ensure that all the information they provide is relevant to the current exchange, therefore omitting any irrelevant information. The last, maxim of manner. In simple terms, the maxim of manner is to be clear, whereas the previous maxims are primarily concerned with what is said. The maxim of manner are concerned with how what is said, and the super maxims: be perspicuous, and the sub maxims: first, avoid obscurity of expression; second, avoid ambiguity; third, brief; and the last, be orderly. Now you know what Gricean maxim is. So, why people laugh at certain events or section of comedy movies or stand-up comedy? So the answer is because they are flouting the maxim. When people lie, say something sarcastic, or describe something or a person with unusual utterance, it means that they break the cooperative principle and the conversational maxims. There are different kinds of breaking the cooperative principle and the maxim of conversation. They are flouting, violating, opting out, infringing, and suspending the maxim of conversation. Flouting the maxims means that implicatures bluntly and overtly don't follow the maxim. and exploit it for communicative purpose. Levinson's 1983. In other words, people fail to achieve the maxims because they have an idea and they try to make the receiver to get the intended meaning behind this idea. All the Gricean maxims can be floated as follows. Flouting the maxim of quality. These maxims can be floated for different purposes: irony, metaphor, understatement or meiosis, overstatement or hyperbole, or rhetorical questions. Flouting the maxim of quantity. It means that the conversation can be either less or more informative. Moreover, tautologies show that the conversation floats the maxim of the quantity, which it means telling something non-informative. Yule, 1996. Floating the relation maxims. This maxim can be floated to change a subject and the conversation cannot be continued. Floating the manner maxims. The communicators try to exploit the maxim by being not brief, orderly, and etc. In stand-up comedy, the stand-up comedian, or also known as comic, have to tell about their restlessness to the audience in a funny way. In order to make the audience laugh, they surely need to make the audience understand the topic being discussed. And they break all the rules of maxim to convey the joke's point to the audience, so the audience can understand and laugh at what the comic said. Also in comedian movies, they ignore the Gricean maxims, because if it is applied, it will be too rigid. Then the jokes will be difficult to convey to the audience. So, that's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.